We begin with the latest from Southeast Asia, where an aggressive confrontation between China and the Philippines continues. In the latest, a Chinese helicopter came dangerously close to hitting a Filipino aircraft. This incident has ratcheted up the tensions between the two countries. Footage released by the Philippine Coast Guard is showing a Chinese Navy helicopter flying close to a Filipino aircraft in a disputed section of the South China Sea. Manila said that the Chinese helicopter flew just 3 meters or less than 10 feet from its aircraft. The mid-air standoff occurred over the hotly contested Scarborough Shoal in the South China Sea, which is under Beijing's effective control since 2012. Now, during the mid-air standoff, the Filipino side warned the Chinese that their aircraft was flying too close, but the Chinese helicopter continued to hover with dangerous maneuvers despite repeated warnings.
Military helicopter. This is Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources of the Philippine government. Cessna Caravan 208B Romeo Papa 1077, conducting a lawful maritime patrol within the exclusive economic zone. You are flying too close. You are very dangerous and endangers the lives of our crew and passengers. Keep away and distance of your aircraft from us. You are violating the safety standards set by the FAA and ICAO.
Well, according to the pilot, there were 2 instances that the Philippine Navy helicopter did a dangerous flight maneuver. The first one, it came close at a distance of only 3 meters, less than 10 feet. So that's very dangerous. As you saw from the video that we released, the Philippine Navy helicopter hovered above the port side of the aircraft.
In a statement, the Philippines opted its standard practice of referring to the South China Sea as the West Philippine Sea and said that Manila is committed to protect its sovereignty. Following the incident, Beijing accused the Philippines of spreading false narratives and repeated its internationally denounced claims in the South China Sea. Beijing's maritime belligerence over the South China Sea through maneuvers by air or sea is not new. But what makes this particular standoff critical is that Manila's plane was not carrying typical armed personnel who usually patrol the area. The Filipino side was flying journalists in this plane in an attempt to highlight Beijing's maritime belligerence. The journalists witnessed the tense mid-air standoff between the Filipino and Chinese aircraft, which reportedly lasted 30 minutes. The incident continued to show Beijing's erroneous assertiveness over the South China Sea. The mid-air standoff over Scarborough Shoal is the second major military incident in the region in the last few days. On the 11th of February, Australia said that a Chinese jet released flares in the South China Sea within 30 meters of its aircraft. While no personnel were injured in the incident, Canberra lodged diplomatic protest with Beijing in a moment of tense bilateral strain. The dangerous game of proximity between Manila and Beijing is playing out not just on the waters, but in the skies as well. The world watches closely if these encounters will remain just warnings, or will they escalate into something far more dangerous?
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines, detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT, only on Firstpost.
We're calling the show Vantage. We hope you like what we put together for you. Touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout this week. Yes, Hindu Mandir in we're on our way to Tel Aviv. City measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office. Prime Minister Modi did the iron.
We were actually
How are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote effort. Trump hat, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 4.3 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.